Jammu and Kashmir is a hotbed for terror-related activities, and in a recent terrorist attack on Saturday morning, a policeman was seriously injured when terrorists opened fire at Srinagar's Iva Bridge. According to the police statement recorded, the firing took place at around 8:40 am, in which a Jammu and Kashmir constable, Ghulam Hassan, was critically injured. The firing took place near Iva Bridge in Safa Kadal area of the city. Officials were quoted as saying that the area was later cordoned off and a search for the attackers was launched. The attack on the security personnel comes a day after top Hizbul Mujahideen commander Ashraf Maulvi and his two associates were shot dead near the route of the annual Amarnath Yatra in Jammu and Kashmir, Anantnag district. A low pressure area over the South Andaman Sea is set to turn into a cyclone by Sunday. The IMD officials reported that the low pressure area would likely intensify into a depression by Saturday evening and into a cyclonic storm over the Bay of Bengal 24 hours later, which will then move north towards India's eastern coast. The cyclone will be named Asani. The cyclone is likely to make a landfall between Visakhapatnam and Bhubaneswar between May 10th and 11th. On Friday, the low pressure area was over 1,000 kilometers from the Indian coastline. The Weather Department is due to provide further updates on its current position later today. Expected speed is 25 knots tomorrow and a maximum of 45 knots on May 10th, when it is expected to have transformed into a cyclone. Weather officials have also pointed out that the storm may make a U-turn and head back out to the sea or make a sharp turn and head towards Bangladesh. According to reports, 17 teams of the National Disaster Response Force, 20 from the state disaster authorities, and nearly 200 fire service teams will be deployed once there is a confirmation of this cyclone and the landfall. The Civil Aviation Department has received a bill of over Rs 44.85 lakh for the aircraft hired for Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann's visit to Gujarat between April 1st and 3rd. The Punjab CM had visited Gujarat to commence the virtual campaign of the party in the state and was accompanied by the Chief Minister of Delhi and the Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal. The details of this expenditure have been received in response to an RTI filed by Bhatinda resident Harmilap Singh Grewal. Harmilap had sought details of the amount spent on Bhagwant Mann's visit to Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. The Punjab CM had taken a chopper on rent for his visit and subsequent campaign in Gujarat. RTI reply said that the details for the Himachal tour could not be certain and hence were not given. Ex-AAP leader Harmilap Singh Grewal said that Bhagwant Mann's visit to Gujarat and Himachal were purely for the purpose of campaigning for the party and had nothing to do with the benefit of Punjab. BJP National President JP Nadda on Friday accused the left government in Kerala of encouraging Islamic terrorism, claiming that the southern state has become a breeding center for Islamic terrorism under its rule. Nadda was addressing a rally organized by the BJP and alleged that the left party in Kerala always gives an impression that they treat every section of society equally, but their policy is pseudo-secularism and they give importance to one section of the society and divide the others. Nadda further said that the Left Democratic Front government in Kerala is providing patronage to Islamic terrorism and has become a breeding ground for the same. He alleged that the religious communities, especially Christians in Kerala, are concerned about the demographic changes taking place in the southern state. Nadda also spoke about the political murders that have taken place in Kerala in the last 15 years and alleged that there is a drastic increase in violence in the state. Sri Lanka is going through its worst economic crisis since independence, and nationwide protests by trade unions and student activists were staged on Friday demanding the president's resignation. Later on the same day, Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa declared a state of emergency, giving security forces sweeping powers for the second time to deal with the ongoing anti-government protests over the economic crisis. The students blocked the main access road to the Parliament complex and carried out protests for 24 hours, after which the police had to resort to firing tear gas shells and water cannons to disperse the protesters. Various trade unions, numbering over 2,000 and covering various sectors, have also launched an island-wide strike demanding the resignation of the ruling government over their inability in tackling the economic crisis in the country. Sri Lanka is currently in the throes of an unprecedented economic crisis since its independence.
Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.